The future of battlefield power systems will increasingly depend on the right energy source for the mission. In high intensity remote operations, drones and robots require reliable, long endurance power far from established grids or vulnerable supply lines. I posed this exact challenge to a defense fund manager. How do we sustain electric drones and robots on contested front lines? His response highlighted a clear bifurcation in emerging technologies. Let's hear what he has to say. Yeah. Well, my next question was actually going to be about how a lot of these new technologies are electric. When you're up on the front lines, how do you plug in these things? Um, it's great if you don't need fuel because fuel requires a supply chain, and a lot of these places, for example, when Germany invaded Moscow, there was one highway with two lanes and giant ditches on either side. So it wasn't hard for the Russians to just keep bombing that one highway. We saw this when the Russians were invading Kiev. There was one highway with two lanes with giant drainage ditches on either side. And you just blow up one tank and now everything comes to a screeching halt. Um, It'd be great if you could just plug things in and you didn't need to worry about fuel, but what are you going to plug it into? How is all that electric stuff going to work? Would you have to have generators and still supply fuel?
This is where I think hydrogen is a really interesting solution, because if you have uh, platforms and drones and things that are powered by hydrogen, you only need water and power that you can put. You don't need that much power because it's electrolysis doesn't use the same amount of power it does to charge your battery. And so, what we, I think one of those, I think that you bring up a great point. If you're going to be operating in these frontier environments, you need to basically have kind of an all-in-one solution. I think hydrogen, just as an example, is something that's really interesting. There's some interesting things that are going on in the small modular reactor space that could have basically power on the front lines that we would never thought possible. And as those innovations start bearing fruit, we will, I think, see leapfrog, I think, some of the needs on the EV battery.
Yeah, because when I've seen images of like robots and not sort of like the Tesla robot that's standing there, you know, taking a cardboard box off the shelf or whatever, but these what's the name of the company, United or something like that? Very impressive, and they look like they have this big backpack on their back, and I'm just guessing that must be the battery. And they don't say how long the battery runs, but these things look like they use up a lot of electricity. So uh, no one's ever really said. They talk about robot armies and that sort of thing, and it's sort of like, okay, well, and then what'll you do? It only works for 2 hours, and then it runs out of batteries. Are you going to plug it in? Like you've got 1,000 robots, where are you going to plug them in? 10,000 robots. So I think it's a big problem. You think that hydrogen can somehow solve that problem?
I think hydrogen, the fuel cells in hydrogen are still quite expensive. They still need to have to come down in price for it to be more widely adopted. But uh, I do think I I likely think that we will, if we're having those conversations, say 30 years from now, we will likely cite a 1970s oil type of example as what solved the problem.
Hmm. So does higher hydrogen have more power density than gasoline?
I'm not an expert on hydrogen, so I don't know if
Hmm.
I can confirm that fact. But what I can tell you is hydrogen is, there are some new innovations where you can use non-pressurized containers for hydrogen, which reduce the
Hmm.
flammability of hydrogen, so it's much safer to travel.
Hmm.
There's some new innovations that are coming online that are allowing you to basically make this, because as things are getting faster, smaller, cheaper, that allowing able to do, you can have one big hydrogen unit, you can have a very small hydrogen unit. So it's that a marine platoon can use. It is it is just one example of something you can modularize to fit that mil spec, mission need, that what service kind of needs to accomplish its goal.
Hydrogen fuel cells are emerging as the superior choice for reusable, high value platforms carrying advanced electronic warfare payloads such as radar jamming, signals intelligence, or persistent surveillance sensors, where stealth, extended runtime, and minimal logistical exposure are paramount. The Heaven Z1 exemplifies this capability. A hydrogen-powered drone delivering 10 plus hours of flight endurance, up to 740 kilometers of range, and a 10-pound payload capacity. Its quiet electric propulsion, near zero thermal signature, only water vapor exhaust, and low acoustic profile make it ideal for sensitive missions like border patrol, forward reconnaissance, or electronic warfare overwatch in denied environments. When paired with portable solar hydrogen production systems, such as Sesame Solar's drone refueling nanogrid, these platforms achieve remarkable autonomy. The trailer-based nanogrid generates hydrogen on-site from solar power and atmospheric moisture, enabling rapid deployment under 15 minutes by one person, and sustaining 24/7 operations with rotating drones for months without external fuel resupply. This eliminates noisy diesel generators as detection beacons and drastically reduces convoy risks in contested areas. Other leading developers reinforce this trend. Intelligent Energy provides modular solar cells for various types of drones, extending endurance 3 times over batteries for applications like mapping, inspection, and defense surveillance. Doosan Mobility offers mass-produced models with up to 5.5 hours of flight time, targeting industrial and military long-endurance needs with clean, efficient power. These systems excel where missions demand prolonged loiter, heavy electronic warfare payloads, and operational stealth, scenarios where lithium-ion batteries quickly reach their limits due to lower gravimetric energy density and longer recharge times. In contrast, swarms of kamikaze drones, deployed in large numbers for saturation attacks, remain best served by lithium-ion batteries. These disposable platforms prioritize low cost, rapid production, pre-charged readiness, and simplicity for one-way journeys. Battery tech supports short-duration precision strikes without the complexity or added weight of hydrogen storage and fuel cells. Hydrogen is not a universal replacement. It occupies a critical niche for high-endurance, reusable assets that must remain undetected and self-sustaining. Lithium-ion continues to dominate mass tactical disposable roles, where endurance is secondary to volume and affordability. Like and subscribe to stay updated on this evolving space. In an upcoming video, we'll explore silicon anode advancements in lithium-ion batteries, currently delivering up to 50% more flight time for drones, with theoretical potential reaching 10 times in future generations. See you there.